All right, so I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to title this video, but it's going to be something like the dumbest mistake I've ever made, or don't do this, or don't make this mistake, something like that. So I'm not going to drag this out to be a longer video than it needs to be, but let me tell you what happened to me as I was doing some testing this morning. Wasted 3 hours of my life, flushed a bunch of money and ammo down the drain. Let me show you what happened. So if you watch the show consistently, you'd see that I recently showed this rig right here. Off the bat, do you see anything wrong with this right here? Just looking at it. See anything off or funny or weird? So this is my Savage KLYM that I've loaned from Savage to do my Alaskan bear hunt with. Another long story short, I'm going on a bear hunt and there's several partners that have come together for us to put this bear hunt together. One being Savage, one being Zerotech Optics. You guys watch the show, know I'm a fan of Zerotech Optics. Well, they sent this to my FFL with the scope already mounted, sent me a quick message, hey, it should be bore sighted. We already got the scope on there, ready to rock and roll. And I said, yeah, I'm gonna get it to the range. I'm gonna do some ammo testing with it. Well, I'm real excited. I've been looking forward to getting it out there. And it's just kind of all over the place. This is in 300 Win Mag, by the way. And I got my brand new can on here. This is the Banish 30 V2. It's lighter than the old one. It's quieter than the old one. It's smaller than the old one. So I'm also excited to test out my new can. Well, I took 3 different types of 300 Win Mag. My wife's calling me, hold on. Anyways, what was I saying? I took 3 different types of 300 Win Mag, you know, a 150 grain, a 180 grain, a 190 grain. I said, I'm gonna do my thing, take my time, not only get this thing sighted in, but figure out what type of ammo it likes, and we're getting ready for this bear hunt. Well, right off the bat, I started with the core locked, and it's kind of all over the place. And the point of impact is shifting. I'm making an adjustment, group of 3, make an adjustment, and then it would be, you know, 3 or 4 inches from where I adjusted it. And I'm thinking, am I losing my mind? You know, it must really not like this core lock stuff. So I go on to the core lock tipped 180s. And I got a group, I think, under 1 inch. I'm like, So then I was like, well, maybe it likes these heavier 180s. And then kind of same thing, it wasn't doing the greatest and the point of impact was shifting. They're like, well, let's try the 190 Premier Long Range with the Spear Impact. Heavy for caliber, 190 grain, 300 Win Mag. And it does a group that's great. And I'm thinking at this point, wow, this Savage just really likes the heavier stuff. But then it does another group that's, you know, not so great. And I'm thinking, I'm just frustrated at this point. And my hypothesis is that this Savage, the 110 KLYM, it has a proof barrel. This is a proof barrel, right? Pretty sure it's a proof barrel, proof research. Anyways, my hypothesis is that this thing just doesn't like to be hot, have a hot barrel. In my head, it felt like the first 3 out of the barrel were a decent group, and then everything after that was just kind of garbage and all over the place. That was my hypothesis. Well, let me show you just a quick snippet. I'm not going to bore you with all. I think I did like probably 15 different groups. I really spent 3 hours testing this. I'd do a cold group of 3, a warm barrel group of 3, then I'd let it get to room temperature. And I'd do that over and over and over, trying to figure out the deal. Let me just show you some of the groups. I won't roll in all of them. I don't even see where that one hit. Either same hole or way off. Huh. All right, so if you didn't see it before, here's the problem right here. Look at the scope rings. This one isn't even on the rail. It's not even on the rail. There towards the end, I did have the feeling like, man, is the eye relief not as good as I thought it was on this? This is a Zerotech Trace Advanced. Very nice scope, which Zerotech Optics, I'll put a link down below. We get discounts on them. Great company, great scopes. I've had a lot of good luck with these. I have this exact same scope on my 7mm mag that I take out to 1,000 yards quite easily and frequently. So I love this scope. But that's the thing. They told me off the bat, hey, we already bore sighted it and we got the scope mounted on there for you. You're ready to rock and roll. What I should have done before I left the house was just go ahead and torque them down. I got my tools here, right here where I put the can on this morning. And I should have checked the torque settings on these rings. When I got it, you know, the scope was mounted up like it should be, back here. You know, you bring the thing up. I also thought, man, that cheek piece, like, why'd they make the cheek piece so far from the scope? Because I was like having to put my back of my chin on here to get the eye relief right, and I was at the range, I was like, man, this is just not right. Then as I was packing it up, I saw, what in the world? Well, that explains my inconsistencies that I was seeing out at the range. So don't do like me. Before you go to the range, especially if you're flinging some expensive ammo like 300 Win Mag, where it's like $2 every time you break the triggers, sometimes more, $3-4. I spent like $100 in ammo this morning, all to waste. Anyways, don't make a mistake like me before you go to the range, whether it's your first trip or your 100th trip. Check your rings. Hey, if you torqued them to whatever, 20, 30, whatever, check them again. It won't hurt. Won't hurt you to check the torque. So, and I mean, the weird thing is, I wouldn't expect them to do that. I'm almost wondering if, like, I don't know, because like it's not loose. I can't wiggle it at all. Show you this, like it'll bend a little bit there, but I can't pull it off. It was just the however many 30, 40 rounds of 300 Win Mag was enough force to scoot, 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 scoot. Yeah. But I got high hopes for this 110 KLYM. I think it's going to do great. You guys that watch the show know I've been on a big kick here where I've been buying Savage 110 Trail Hunters, and they have the Trail Hunter Light. I've had 2 of those. Every single one of them did good groups, especially after ammo testing and finding the exact ammo they like. Fantastic. I'm talking about half-inch groups. So I had high hopes for this one. This one is not exactly in the budget-friendly realm. The KLYM is kind of top of the line, top-notch stuff. Lightweight rig, carbon fiber everywhere and all that stuff. But hey, don't make the same mistake as me. Check your equipment. And don't mount your scopes like this with just one holder on there. It might help you out of a bind if you absolutely had to and you only have one scope ring. But yeah, I found out this morning it don't work this good unless you got your scope rings down as tight as they should be, especially on 300 Win Mag. But hey, appreciate you watching. Stay tuned for more. We'll see you guys on the next one. More on this soon. Hooty-hoo.